All right, I have 7 o'clock. I'm going to call our meeting to order. And we'll stand and say the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Okay, first item on, let me real quick just reiterate, if anybody wants to speak at public comment, they need to be signed up on the podium here on the little legal pad. And now, first item on the agenda, September minutes and October claim docket. Overlay, everybody's had a chance to look over those two items.
I've reviewed the September minutes and the October claim dockets, and I make a motion we pass them.
All right, I got a first motion.
I'll second the motion.
All right, got a second. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Okay, motion carries. Old business. We have a working on a new ordinance to kind of clarify or designate the number of reserve police officers to comply with a new Indiana law. Do we have a final on that, or?
Well, I think we confirmed that it's mandatory, that we need the ordinance, and then I think there were some comments in the email in terms of how many we wanted to fix in the ordinance. I didn't know if that was something you wanted to talk further about, if you had a final decision on that.
Okay, any discussion on
Well, we threw the
number of officers?
We threw the number of 10 out just so there would be the availability to expand if we ever had to at a moment's notice, so to speak. But if you're saying that it needs, typically is less than that.
No, I don't know that that's necessarily the case. I think 10 would be fine. Is that what you want to do?
Well, I did confirm with our insurance agent, they do charge us per reserve officer, but they do not charge based on a maximum. They charge on the actual roster. So if we had 10 in our ordinance, they aren't going to charge us for 10 reserve officers. They're going to charge us based on what the actual roster is. So to me, a round number of 10 fits with, like Dave said, it gives us some cushion if they add some more officers, but we don't have to have it specific to the numbers that we have on our roster, unless the feeling is that we should. Then you just have to modify your ordinance every time you add a new reserve officer. So
Okay.
okay, so we'll select 10 for the ordinance, and we'll table this until next month to vote on that. Does that sound like it fits with what you folks want?
It fits with what we talked about.
Okay. Excellent. All right. Dora, I still haven't heard back from AIM on any actual definitions of this. Remember, we talked about this being our designated outdoor recreation area for town, and we thought it would be a good idea to pursue this. It just the process is still brand new for the state, so I think we'll just, unless anybody has other discussion issues on this, we can table this again until we have better clarification. All right. Next item on the agenda, update on furnace issue at the fire department building. Pete?
Well, I talked to Mr. Clance today, and we talked over his proposal that we turned in. It was dated 7/17 of 23. And I talked about the furnace. He said there shouldn't be any problem with it lasting through the winter as far as heat. But the air conditioning is a problem. So talked to Jenny today and said we can appropriate some money from this year's budget. And I asked him about if there's any price increase if we wait. And he goes, he would eat that if it was. So if we went with a 95% efficiency with the electric air cleaner and this Wi-Fi thermostat, be $13,743. 92% with the same two items, $13,168 to replace everything.
Is that a two-stage kind of heat pump? If gets really cold in the winter, is it gonna then be able to heat the whole thing?
Yeah, but
Sometimes with
it's
those
not a
heat
heat pump.
Oh, I thought that's what you said.
No,
Oh,
no, no. I don't think I said heat pump, did I?
I'm sorry. Okay, maybe I missed.
I'm pretty sure I said furnace. It's not a heat pump.
Okay.
But he said,
I
in
guess
order-
I got it because of 95%. I was thinking it was. a heat
yeah,
pump. Okay,
yeah.
never mind.
Okay, the 92% does say heat pump.
Oh, okay.
All right, so the question for us is, do we want to use the money that Jenny said we can appropriate for this now? Or do we want to wait till the spring and get it done then? I would assume you would be able to carry the,
There's $4,314 left in the maintenance budget for the fire department. And then we still have $24,500 for their fire protection and medical emergency that we could use also for the fire department, unless you have other plans for that. So we'd have to use about 9,000 of the 24,500 that we have left over. So that'd leave 13,500 in there.
And that's this year's money. Or is that
Yeah,
next year?
That's this year's
This
money that
year.
we can encumber since
Yeah.
we have a bill for it.
And it would be out of the way.
But if we're gonna do it, we need to accept this one so that we can encumber the money and not have to come up with that much next year. If you see what I mean.
Mhm.
all right,
Would
so-
it be better just to do it now though and get everything completely done? If we got the money now, just
Well, yeah, you could, I mean,
Yeah.
if
Do
you
it,
wanna
it's-
do it,
Yeah, I mean, it's not,
instead of, because I know he says the furnace would be all right for this winter, but
yeah,
who knows, something
Right.
could happen, so.
right.
Yeah, you're gonna spend the money anyway, so if you wanna do it now, you
Now,
can.
my suggestion is do it now,
Sure.
or just
I agree.
be all
That way
updated.
there's
Yeah.
no chance of a price increase,
Yeah,
which he said he'd take care of
Yeah.
that if we decide to wait.
So instead of a suggestion, can we have a motion?
oh, okay, yeah, okay. Well, I'd make a motion that we accept this proposal from Mr. Clance for the new furnace and air at the fire station.
Which one, 95 or 92%?
Might as well go with 95%.
I'll second the motion.
All right, I got a first and a second motion on the 95% efficient furnace with 16 SEER AC total contract, 11,673. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? All right, Pete, so you'll contact
Now, does
Bill
that-
Ponce Heating and Cooling?
Does that include, you're gonna include the electronic air filter? Because the total price would be $13,743.
Oh, that so the
See the,
other two options, the
yeah, the electronic air.
Wi-Fi thermostat and electronic air
Yeah,
cleaner?
yeah.
There's an extra one.
All right, we didn't include that in our motion, so let's back up and include that in our motion.
I make the motion that we do also include the electronic air cleaner.
Second?
And the Wi-Fi thermostat.
Correct.
All right, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Very good, all right.
Okay.
Don't go anywhere.
You still need it?
You're next again. Cost for fountain at Steve's Pond.
It says John.
That's John.
Right, but you
Yeah.
had the original
Okay.
quotes. So you're gonna,
They're in there. Because when I seen John on there, I didn't even bring that with me.
Okay.
What kind of quotes do you have?
I've just, I went down to Monrovia where the pond place. Of course, they're probably pretty expensive, but, I asked him about the fountains and the pond and stuff. And he says he recommends anyone that's, if you got a pond, have some kind of fountain, because he says it does cut down on the algae in the ponds. And they make two kinds, of course, the horizontal, which you see in most places, or I meant vertical, but they make a horizontal one that fits in the water long ways, like this, would go this way.
So you really can't see it, it just.
No, but it would spray water up,
Oh,
and they float around. But, these are the quotes that I got in front of you for a spray fountain there, for what cheapest one is what, $21.35. Of course, that's without,
that's pretty close to what I had.
yeah, and you'd have to run electric to the edge there where you could turn it on and off. These weren't automatically shut off as the level got low too, because you'd have to monitor that. Because since we don't have any constant inflow of that pond, it's almost dry now, so.
So is that the horizontal one you're talking about?
No, that's,
Or the
vertical,
vertical? I would
vertical.
assume the vertical would go up and down with the water level, wouldn't it?
the ones he had, he says, these don't, he says you can get them to go up and down, but, I would think you could find them cheaper somewhere else. I don't know that he's in that business, but
So you say there's no detection of like when it gets super low, just to kick it off? We
no.
have to we
You,
have to manually do that.
no, if you put, you can get a thing that would kick it off manually, automatically.
Float back
Of
and
course,
forth.
none of those prices are on this particular, it's just one person running it,
Right.
but he did say whether treating this is a lot better than treating a pond, because you would keep the
Yeah,
algae out of it, yeah, with the oxygen. But it'd just be nice if it was full all the time.
Okay, it's got a minimum water depth here,
Yeah, yeah,
18 inches, surely it would, even as low as it is now.
yeah.
I mean, it's been low enough that there wasn't 18 inches of water in there, especially with all the silt that's built up.
Yeah. You think it's less than 18 inches deep right now?
I haven't been over there in the last week, but there's been times when I've been over there and it was, I mean, like a puddle in the very middle of that pond.
Okay.
The other thing to think about is what's the,
Yeah.
I mean, we add a fountain, we're gonna add maintenance costs, we're gonna add monthly electricity.
Right.
So what's the price difference between treating it each month versus, I mean, we pay
We pay
Three.
about $165
a month
A
to
month.
a
treat.
month or so.
Yeah.
For 6
For
months?
6 months,
And
Yeah.
6 months out of the year, we don't pay anything.
right.
The only difference is pretty to look at.
I do like fountains
Yeah.
in ponds. I think they definitely do add to the aesthetic.
Yeah.
I think it just would be good to know what the difference is going to be
Yeah.
once we get that installed. And
Yeah. Well,
is our maintenance person gonna be responsible for, keeping an eye on that depth and,
Yeah.
how is it running and does it have a filter that needs to be changed?
right.
Those kinds of things, so.
And also, if you did have one of those and you run the electric, he suggested on your box that you run from, you definitely have a lock, so people couldn't get in it
Right.
and get hurt, so it'd have to be a lock box.
So, Duke Energy's supposed to come out the 24th. about mounting the meter on that pole, and I'm assuming, talking about the other deal you won with the, Christmas.
Now, are they
Okay.
charging us for the meter they're putting on that pole?
Now, the first time I talked to them on that, they said free.
Okay,
But when I talked to him about coming off of these streetlights, it's $200 a streetlight to put a meter on.
That's
So
for
if you did
plug-ins on the poles.
Yes. Yeah. And they said Indiana's the only state that does that. Ohio and Kentucky, they don't do that. They don't put meters.
yeah, cause, I mean, we pay a flat fee of 900 and something a month for
Yeah.
our
Lights.
street lights being on
Right.
in town.
Yeah.
But if we wanted to put up Christmas decorations, they're gonna
They're
make
gonna-
us meter them
Each pole,
and charge us
or each
for
light.
whatever we've plugged in and
Yeah.
running
Is
it.
that that's a one-time deal?
Yeah, it's one time
It's just
for the meter,
200 to put in the meter
Yeah.
and
and then from
and
then
of
on,
course, whatever electricity.
the light
we
bills,
have.
yeah, off of
Yeah.
the meter. Yeah. I thought that they would just do like the street lights and have a flat fee. Cause first time I talked to him, I said, we'd probably want from October to December, that way you cover Halloween, Thanksgiving, and
Yeah.
Christmas.
Mhm.
And I said, if they wanna change that, can we change that at any time? She said, yeah. So when I called back the next day, she told me to call back, she had to check on all that. She said, well, got bad news. We had to put meters at each one of the light poles at $200 a piece.
And is there a minimum? I mean, will they come out here and just do 5 meters? Or do
No.
they have to come out and do every one?
No, I give them addresses, and from, say, the cul-de-sac around to your business,
Uh-huh,
that street light just to the north
yeah.
of the intersection right there, there's 8 poles, including the one in front of the bank. So that'd be $1,600 putting meters in.
Okay.
So,
What about going back east on 39 on them poles? You would have decorations on those, I would
well,
assume.
yeah, if you wanna pay $200 a pole.
No.
Well, what he's talking about is starting at the cul-de-sac.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And then.
Oh, okay,
just
yeah.
In our town
Coming
business
west and
district,
back north,
Yeah, okay.
and then the one in the corner
The one
over
at
by
the
the
bank.
bank.
then we would be able to put up Christmas decorations
Yeah.
or
If we had
Yeah.
if we had some. We gave ours away to AMO.
We're
years
gonna call
ago.
AMO and see if we can get them back.
Right.
Sure, they'd be more than happy to.
All right, so any other
On every pole.
discussion
every
about
town.
the
Mhm. I don't know
electricity
about that, cause they've had them for a
issue
long
for
time.
the pond and the downtown business district?
I think it'd be nice to have electric on the poles, so you could put up some decorations you could light up,
Yeah.
but that's my opinion, so.
But they're
Good.
still gonna do the one at the pond for free,
That's what
but
she
then
said.
Yeah.
just charge us the $1,600 for the
Yeah, and
poles.
I'm assuming the difference
down.
is because no street light, I guess.
Yeah.
You know, we're not gonna use it
Yeah.
for, part-time. That's what I told her, basically, we're just gonna use it like 3 months out of the year. But this, we'd use it, pretty much year-round.
So if they put them on 39, then they're putting meters, they're gonna have to come out and read the meter every month, every time?
They do it by,
Oh.
Yeah, they
do that anyway.
electronically read. ours.
Yeah, even Coachville's got that technology now.
I'm still in the dark ages, I guess.
So I say we wait on the light poles, cause we don't have anything to put on them anyway.
Right.
There's no sense in paying $2,000 or whatever for
That's kind of.
electricity that we're not gonna use.
Hmm.
And it could be within a year that there might be some other way that we'll pay for those instead of us.
Yeah.
You know,
Right.
that the
Yeah.
town pays for, maybe.
Whether the original cost would be for putting the meters up.
Yeah.
Probably
if
out
we
of
didn't
general
use them, there
fund,
wouldn't
local
be any
road
light
street,
bill.
We'd have to
Yeah,
put the money in the
Until we
budget.
did use
We'll have
it.
to think about that next year.
So I don't know, it's up to you guys whether you think it's worth that for,
I say we wait until like June, July, revisit the light poles, and maybe by then we can afford to have something to put on them,
yeah.
you know.
All right, any other discussion on?
I agree, yeah.
Town business district
Yeah.
light poles for Christmas decorations?
Nope.
All right. And for the pole at Stevens Pond?
Well, I would like to see a fountain down at the park, but that's just me again.
Yeah,
I'd like to table it because we're at the end of the season,
Yeah.
basically, for allergy. Table it until maybe January, February next year, and then we talk about it and maybe get some numbers together on comparison of this and that. And then also like which one we should possibly go with. Maybe talk to someone at an apartment complex or something that has a bigger pond that's constantly full and find out what kind of upkeep they encumber with.
Yeah.
yeah.
So,
Well, I wasn't ready for the fountain, but I still got all the paperwork on that. And some of the paperwork I have, they've got lights where you can change colors,
Yeah,
and it's all remote control, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, and it's pretty close, same
yeah.
cost.
All right, everybody
I think
in agreement to table this until spring?
Yeah, sorry, me.
And we'll revisit that, and we'll just, Pete, we'll have you just do some more research, find out, what continuing maintenance and cost would be on a month-to-month basis,
Right.
for comparisons to what we're doing now. I still think that pond, I mean, it's been our pond since the late nineties,
Yeah,
and, we've not ever done a dredging or any kind of actual, major maintenance on it, so that
and
also
I
might
did
be-
check on the dredging from the last month,
Right,
and minimum $20,000 to dredge that. Cause they gotta haul all that off, and they
Yeah.
figure they'll tear the yards up, and they'd have to redo them, and so that's pretty expensive to do that.
all right, thank you, we'll table that until next time.
Should I call Duke in and cancel the 24th about this pole down here?
That's what it sounds like the consensus
Yeah.
was, to
Okay.
put that off until spring. Thank you. Door code update, we have a door code update from the police department yet?
I do not.
Okay,
I do not have one.
anybody else talk to? Nope.
I had one email from Matt about the site, the town police site, but other than that, I'm not any.
Their website,
Mhm.
is that working yet, or is it still?
I got basically a really short answer back from him about it needs to be redone. And I'm like, what does that mean? That's all I got back.
Okay,
At least you got an answer on some things.
so the,
Yeah, it was
yeah,
just,
the town of Clayton police departments, they had their own website, for the longest time. And, it is, basically you try to go there, it just gives you a little Google warning that
Yeah.
this site's not in operation anymore.
Yeah.
it's a generic redirect, so.
Yeah. So, and do you have a door code to get in yet? No. Okay, so, I mean, we've gotta get this,
What would it cost just to do it again? I mean, how long has this been going on?
right. Well, I know, remember when the batteries went dead on that about a year and a half ago, and
Mhm.
we were messing with it, and then it did its own factory reset?
Mhm.
I mean, we could do
Maybe
that.
we could do that.
And then we use the factory code and create
Right,
our list again
Mhm.
from scratch. I mean, we have the operation manual in there, so we can just do that.
yeah.
Well,
Off the
something
laptop.
needs to be done, especially at the park.
Yeah.
let's just do that.
Okay, all right, we'll do that. We'll factory reset the doors and recode them. Do you have access to that info on the laptop then, or?
He told us that it was on the laptop.
Right,
On their laptop.
No, on your laptop, he said. Yeah, he said somebody's on one of those laptops somewhere. I'm like, okay. So, I will help out and we'll help you
Okay.
find that and we'll work on
all
that.
right, we'll find that.
Before the
Work
next
on getting
meeting,
those
we'll
done,
definitely get that
because-
done.
I mean, when we put those two in at the town garage and then at the food pantry, we programmed them ourselves initially anyway, so we'll just do that.
Did Matt come around and go later on?
Afterwards, yeah, he fixed it for us. So, but he used his laptop, so, or a laptop of some kind. I don't know.
There's probably- Yeah, like, there's two ways to do it probably. There's probably one, you do it from the interface of on the
Yeah, you just,
lock
you
itself. and
key
then-
in the master code,
Yeah,
and then that basically puts it in program mode, and then you can program in as
Right.
many.
right. And then there's probably a
Codes or
way on the
something.
laptop with an app or some kind of a portal that you go into and then you can administrate it all through the laptop software. One of the two, so we'll
Yeah.
figure it out.
All right, we'll get that taken care of on that. Last month, we talked about a tipping policy or a policy for our block party / music in the park things. We tabled it just to give everybody time to look and see if they liked all the info in there or if they had any additions, subtractions. Did anybody find anything on that they wanted to change, update?
Like the way it was worded.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, do we have a motion to accept that as written?
I make a motion, we accept the tipping policy as written.
Okay, got a first motion?
I'll second.
Got a second? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Okay. Update on electrical outlets in the park, Pete?
Got this estimate from John, the one that does all our work. This one right here. He's gonna have to pull new wires from the breaker box to the southeast corner of the shelter house by the bathrooms. And then he's got a trench from that box over to the concrete pad to fix all 8 outlets at a cost of $2,800.
Is he actually adding a new breaker on the breaker box, or is he just a,
Well, he tried, the last time he tried a GFI breaker itself in the box, and it was still tripping. He thought it'd be easier to do it from the box than in those little underground things. So he went back to the original breaker before they had the last music in the park.
all right? Any discussion? Questions?
We have money in the park budget?
Does that come out of the park?
Yeah, come out park.
Yeah.
So he's gonna pull new wire, but he's also gonna replace all of the outlets and stuff too.
Yes,
correct?
yes.
Well, you'd have to transfer some money, but there's money in there.
All right. Any other discussion, questions?
No, needs to be done.
I think it'd be important just because we like having the music in the park events. Later on, I'm going to share a little bit of information about the survey questions that the comprehensive plan got. People who responded to the survey love the events in the park and want to see more of them. So,
Well, I'll make a motion that we accept this estimate for $2,800 to fix the electrical down at the park.
Okay, got a first motion?
I'll second it.
All right, got a second motion. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Okay, very good. Let John Todd know.
Okay.
We can get to work on that. And then the update on our community crossing matching, grant project with Midwest Paving.
Okay, I got an email October the 10th that 811 has been notified from Kevin Hay, and we're waiting on a pre-construction meeting, which they haven't got back with me on that yet, so I'm assuming it'll be any time, probably next week.
He was not available next week.
He's not?
Yeah. Probably the week after.
Who's not available?
The Midwest Paving guy,
Oh, you,
the construction.
okay.
Yeah. So
What
I
do
don't know
you
why he emailed just me in that, cause
Oh,
we were
okay.
both in the thread.
Yeah,
But he just emailed me and said, I'm not available next week, it'll have to be the week after.
oh, okay,
But
okay. That's
I'll
what-
I'll forward that email to you and we'll
Okay.
just, but, so Midwest Paving will let us know that,
Yeah.
you know, what their time frame is. They have until the end of July of next summer to finish this project. So, if we need to encumber any money for that, Jenny, we can, but that, I mean, I'm not a paving expert, I don't know when the time frame, when
Right. Oh, I think
when it gets to be too cold, you can't
Yeah.
pave anymore. But I'm sure there's,
I think it has to be pretty cold before we have to quit.
I think it's around November, usually they shut down first.
all right. Do you wanna talk any more about the community crossing matching grant stuff now, or you wanna wait till your turn's up back in new business?
Well, I was gonna, you was gonna present the comprehensive plan, right? And then I got.
Yes,
Okay. Yeah, I'll wait till it's my turn.
okay. All right, next up, we talked a little bit last week, or last month on, Christmas in Clayton. So Leanne, has some update information she'd like to present.
Actually, I'm gonna give this over to Miss D.
Okay,
Alright.
you have to state your name and address for the record.
All right, I am Miss Bignell and I live at 87 West Kentucky Street. And I have some flyers. This is just a draft at the moment. We'll be getting
Yeah.
new, or getting the final flyer finalized here very soon. So we had a really great couple of meetings with different businesses and community organizations that have gotten together and really kind of expanded the vision for our Christmas in Clayton. Time to kind of really focus on just showcasing and highlighting our town. And so it's turned into two main events. The first one is with the flyer. It's going to have the kickoff event on November the 24th, which is Black Friday. We're going to start at 4 p.m. and all the shops that are involved in this and want to be involved in this are going to be open during this whole time. And so starting at 4, you can come into some of the shops. We'll have passports and you can like tour and see some of the different shops and businesses and get a stamp on your passport and then be able to turn them in at the end of our events. And after that, then we will have a Best of Clayton prize. And so the people that are having businesses in town will kind of donate some things to make it a nice little gift basket for whoever the winner is to just say thanks for coming to the event and kind of just showcasing our businesses here in town. With that, the businesses will kind of want to focus on, you know, just the start of Christmas season and making sure that everybody is in that festive mood. And so we'll have lots of food. There will be some Girl Scout troops coming to have little s'mores kits, and there'll be some fire pits set up outside of Copper Top, and so you can like make your own s'mores and be able to do stuff like that. We have carolers that will be walking around town and doing some caroling. We also have set up at Car Culture. They have opened up their warehouse to be able to have all the businesses that are in town that don't have a brick and mortar building. They can set up a booth or a table down there to kind of highlight and showcase their businesses as well. And so you can go down and kind of take a tour and get your stamps down there, and then make your way back on up to all the other businesses in town. Then at 5:30, we're going to have the parade, and it's going to be a really small parade at this start of this. We're hoping that this is going to be an annual thing from here on. We have a lot of excitement building with this. But the parade will start, and it'll kind of wind through town with the end goal being Santa here at the town hall to kick off the Letters for Santa event that the town sponsors with the mailbox. And so one of the things that we were wanting to see is if the town hall would, if you would permit the town hall to be open that evening for Santa to come in and have kids be able to sit on Santa's lap and take pictures and that kind of thing. The other thing we were asking or wanting to see if we could ask is to just continue advertising like on the Facebook page and on like the water bills and on the sign out front, and we can make sure and get that information to you for that. But then as the evening continues, we'll have a live nativity at First Baptist Church. They will be putting that on. There's going to be a light decorating contest, and so residents of the town or even businesses of the town can sign up for that. There's a Google page or a Google Doc on a new website that has been created, and that has also been posted on some of the chatter pages already. So it's Christmas in Clayton on Facebook, and so watch there for some more information to come. We've already gotten some really great feedback on the chatter pages, this looks like already. There's going to be some poles in town that are going to be decorated. Some of the businesses that are close to some of the light poles, we'll just decorate them. Maybe we'll get some solar and, and decorate with solar. I don't know, just some fun things to just kind of spruce up some of the areas of town. Some of the businesses are also going to be collecting canned food for a food drive to benefit the food pantry. And then Tri-Kappa will sponsor some signage. So anybody who wants to be in the lighting contest and nominate or register their house to be in the contest, they'll get a sign from Tri-Kappa with a little QR code on it. So, and there'll be a map that we can have, and so people can drive around town and kind of vote for the most favorite lighting for the competition. We are still working on what that prize will be, but we'll let you know. We'll keep going with that. Then on the 9th, we have Winter Wonderland at the elementary school. So we're gonna the businesses in town are gonna really support that as well and kind of pitch in with that. And then on the 10th and the 17th, there'll be some of the businesses will be open a little bit later, as well as carriage rides through that different route, so that we can vote on those lighting things. And I did forget one important thing is when Santa arrives, we will have a tree lighting here at Town Hall. So those are the things that we have planned, and it's very exciting to see all of this kind of coming together. So, any questions?
And you'll probably need our police for your parade and stuff, I would imagine.
Yes, we're going to be contacting and
Okay.
asking them to get involved with that
Yeah.
as well, and the fire department as well.
I mean, we kind of want,
I've made notes on that.
we kind of want the new police car to be in the parade.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's kind of showcase it,
Yeah.
and as well as the fire truck, or the new ambulance, whatever, but
Yeah, something.
So we're gonna invite, EMS and fire and the police to participate in the parade.
Yes, and if anybody else wanted to participate in the parade, there will be a sign-up form on this new Facebook page. So that can be, you can sign up for that. So, Leanne, anything else I forgot?
I think you got it all.
Okie dokie. Well,
Good
thank you.
Good job.
Me too. Thank you for your support with this, and I just know that there's this energy in town and it's really catching on and it's really exciting to see. We had, oh my goodness, what, 15 or so people, at the meeting, the other night, and just to see how excited everybody is about having something going on in Clayton, for the holidays, so.
I already made a link that's on the webpage.
Okay, excellent.
And I just put details to follow, so
Excellent.
I'll, if you'll send me the stuff, I'll change it to point to wherever you want it to go.
Excellent. Yeah, we'll do that. We're finalizing things now, on the committee, and we'll be getting that to everybody that we can.
Okay.
Yes, and so then also be watching, I know some of the other, signs, like the PTO said that they can like advertise on the schools billboard, and then First Baptist said that they'll use their new sign to kind of promote things as
Yeah.
well. So just be watching through all the different signage around town to look for updates as well, so. And then also all the other businesses in town, that are participating will have more information. So if you have questions, just pop into one of our local businesses and we'll be happy to answer questions too. Great.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Very good. All right, so new business. We had a public hearing last month about our budget for 2024, and we have to have this passed before November, so this is our chance. Any discussion from town council members on budget for 2024?
You think we're okay with it?
Yeah, I got the thing back already and everything passed. They didn't say we had
They
to
didn't
knock
say-
anything
I was
back.
gonna say, they didn't say you have to take some
Nope,
off.
they said we were good.
Okay, good.
Department of Local Government Finance
Yes.
scrutinized it.
Well, I make a motion that we approve the 2024 budget.
Okay, got a first motion?
I'll second.
Got a second motion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Okay, budget passes for 2024. All right, finalization of alley vacation. Alley
That's
vacate.
awful.
For the very end of Michigan Street as it dead ends into a garage. So we have an ordinance,
We do.
okay,
I sent it by email and
yes.
got a hard copy here.
Thank you. Any questions on this vacating the alley? That we had a public hearing on last month. Okay, I'll need a motion.
I make a motion that we accept the finalized, what, document or ordinance?
The ordinance.
Okay, ordinance.
And then, we have to take the ordinance up to the recorder's office after this meeting, so, well, tomorrow.
I'll make a motion, I'll second that
Second the
motion.
motion. All right, I got a first and second. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Okay, motion carries. Comprehensive plan update. So, I said I was going to talk about this. The American Structure Point is working on this comprehensive plan. We got an Okra grant, and they have a time frame. This has to be completed by December 31st of this year. So they're working diligently on that. And at the most recent meeting that Pete and I went to, we had the encouraging news that 157 responses were logged to our survey, which was very good for a town our size. And they had some very helpful information they got from that. They also talked to people, not just in surveys. So they were at the intersection down here on the hottest day of the year out there when they, but they had a, North Salem State Bank had a picnic of some kind out in their parking lot. So they got some kind of bleed over from people walking over, talking to them. They were also at, not the last Music in the Park, but the one before that, in the park, and talked to a few people about some issues. So the survey results were pretty encouraging on people involved in, kind of the amenities in town. They really liked, again, the park and the events that the town is putting on in the park, the music in the park or other events that they were having done there. They like the upcoming trail that the Hendricks County Parks Department is going to be having come into Lambert Park, and they really like the improvements that have been happening in our downtown area here with Gypsy's Den, Miss Beastie's, Copper Top, and just the fact that Pizza King and places are starting to occupy some of these buildings that used to be abandoned for quite a long time. So people in the surveys have responded to that. They also made mention multiple times in the survey how they were drawn to this community because of the small town feel. So they're very much wanting that small town feel to stay. However, they did say that they still want to see some growth. They don't want to see it like explode, mushroom out into some weird uncontrolled growth, but they'd like to see some very purposeful controlled growth in Clayton. They want to see a grocery store in town, which I thought we had a grocery store, but I guess they don't define that as a grocery store in this. They like Gilbert Woods and the way Gilbert Woods was constructed and put together. And they feel like if we had another neighborhood go in, they wanted it to be that same style. They don't want to, have that cookie cutter vinyl home kind of thing. They want to have something looking similar to what Gilbert Woods looks like with that. So, what are the other things that they commented on? Some negatives that they talked about in the survey are traffic. They feel like traffic, especially at this four-way stop right here, is just getting, it seems to be getting more and more busy, loud, kind of, haphazard sometimes, with very large trucks trying to figure out how to turn past each other. I've seen it a few times where a semi-truck ends up actually having to back up on 39 here to allow another semi-truck to finish their turn. And so that was something that was mentioned in this survey. They also feel the town itself, our town government, should be involved in more supporting small businesses in town. I kind of asked our engineering firm, like, what does that look like? They didn't really have a whole lot of good information. I reached out to Indiana's Small Business Development Center at the State House, and they gave me some feedback on, they normally deal with the small business side of it, but they do have some things to give to government entities who want to help with that. So we can talk about those things as we get closer to finalizing this comprehensive plan. They felt like some other things that would be helpful to see in Clayton. They mentioned a community center, some place for people to go and do things, activities. They also mentioned what they consider branding. And so some towns or villages or whatever you want to call it, they kind of have this is our motto, our vision for a town, or this is our downtown area, our main street, and this is what we do here, and that kind of thing. So there were a lot of feedback about they want to see something like that developed here in Clayton. Meals on Wheels got mentioned a few times. They didn't have specific information on what they meant by that, but they did mention like a Meals on Wheels type of program. They really made a lot of great mentions about the park and our schools. They said our schools seem to meet the quality schools kind of idea that they are looking for here. So I'm kind of excited about where this is going with the comprehensive plan, and when they come out with their final thing. Because we got an Okra grant, we have to have 13 kind of bullet point categories that they're going to bring up. It doesn't mean all 13 of those are relevant to Clayton, but it's just the way that the Okra grant kind of process works. So hopefully next month we can have a little bit of information about that and start looking towards a final product and see where that takes us. Transfer of funds is, any questions on comprehensive plan update stuff? All right. Jenny, you got transfer of
I
funds?
do. In the general fund, we need more money in the office supplies for the clerk. Don't know how. So I'm transferring $300 from dues and school fees, so you can't go to any more schools till the next year. And $950 from school dues and school fees into LP gas because they raised the LP gas on us this year after I'd already set the amount. So that'll take us through the end of December. And then in the motor vehicle highway, the gas and oil for the town vehicle was in the red. So I took money out of the repair town equipment, so hopefully the bucket truck doesn't go crazy again, so that we have gas for it.
Yeah.
So $1,000 for that. So it's $1,250 in the general fund and $1,000 in the motor vehicle highway fund.
Okay. Any questions on that?
I make a motion that we transfer the funds.
All right, I got a first motion,
I'll second.
got a second motion. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Okay, motion carries. All right, Pete, you're up again at the podium.
I've only got basically one other thing. We still have a problem with the vacated alley that I just was made aware of this week from 2021. Wayne Long. What is his address? I think it's 4829 Pennsylvania.
Pennsylvania, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And of all people, Mr. Hoffman owns the property that adjoins it. The house on the corner right down here. You know what I'm talking
Out of
about?
my reach, mine's done.
Yeah.
I'm just
Wait
speaking.
40 years like I
I'm
did.
just speaking at you if you recall.
Yeah.
So we don't know if it's, if we've got an ordinance on it or not. Is there any way you can check it?
Jeff was town manager then, and we approved it, and we had a public hearing, and we approved it, but then Jeff was gonna take care of the
Filing.
ordinance part of it, right? So,
I'll look through my stuff and see if I can find anything. I'll look.
okay,
Okay.
so we might have to create a new ordinance for it, but, I mean, surely we've got meeting minutes that we can go back
I
to
would-
and look
yeah,
at
I would
and
say.
say, these are the meeting minutes where this happened, but
Yeah,
Okay.
we'll figure it out,
Yeah, we'll
fix
find
it.
it.
okay.
And then, any updates you wanna give on the workshop we attended on Tuesday?
Well, it was quite lengthy.
Wow.
And Plainfield has a wheel tax, we did find that out. But you have to have 5,000 people population in your town to do that. And that's over.
Yeah, they got us all excited. They were talking about how, well,
Yeah,
if you had a wheel tax, you could do X, Y, Z with your community crossing
Yeah.
matching grant
yeah.
stuff. And so we were all like, yeah, okay, well, let's do it. And they said, oh, you only have 1,000 people.
But it was interesting, but it was kind of repetitious from the one we went to before.
I felt like the one that we went to for community crossing, or for
Pacer,
the Pacer
yeah.
rating
That's
class
not the
was
ball
much
team.
more informative. This
Yeah.
one was, my words to Pete at the workshop where this could have been an email.
Yeah.
It, you know, I mean, it had a couple of interesting tidbit things, but.
And they
certainly
had some
wasn't.
good speakers. They had, what, like 8 speakers, different speakers on all the different subjects.
Now, they did, one thing that, you know, I mentioned the survey had some concerns about traffic, and the guy from Purdue who teaches the PACER class
Yeah.
mentioned that they have equipment you can borrow to do traffic counts.
Yeah.
And so I at least got that contact information, so I'm, you know, gonna see if they would, you know, loan us equipment to put across 39 over here by the 4-way stop and just see if, you know, what's our count. And
You're
then,
talking about down here by Rob's, right?
No, no.
Here?
right, the 4-way stop
Okay.
where 39 takes that turn and just all the traffic gets backed up during the,
Right.
and it's, you know, most of the time during the week,
Mhm.
the weekdays and all the increased semis and
And I don't know how they would solve that big truck problem. I mean,
yeah, I don't know
we
either.
got as much room as we can get now.
Yeah, I don't,
Roundabout,
I don't know, they, I mean,
John,
it's,
and the Hilton Hotel.
Yeah.
it's interesting.
You suppose we could detour them straight to 40 and then across?
Yeah, there you go. Any questions for Pete from town council members? Okay, thank you, sir.
All right.
George Burnett, you're up, sir.
Super quick and short and easy.
So chatted with Josh at Banning, and no news, good news on that deal. He says moving through successfully, so hopefully in the next month or so we should have something to present to the local homeowners and everything as far as the easements and everything like that. So that's going well. We're supposed to attend the school meeting for the hookup that they're doing this month. I think it was on the 4th, but they canceled it because of lack of
Interest.
anything happening. Yeah, nothing's happening basically. It's just stopped dead in the tracks. So they're supposed to have another one in the 1st of November, but project's well past when it was supposed to be done.
They're still waiting on the
Generator.
component? Yeah.
So I'm guessing, you know, if I were try to throw a dart at it, who knows? It's probably gonna be the 1st of the year sometime. Can't get
So
into
there's
the
just
time
still
restraint.
operating there,
It's still- we're
wastewater
still
treatment
operating
plant
just as was
down
before.
there. And
Yeah.
Right. No effects to us is what I'm trying to bring to light. It's not gonna affect us in any way at this point, so. That's all I got. Short and sweet.
All right, any questions for George from town council members?
Yes. Sit back down or something.
All right, thank you so much. Okay, we had Chief Remender on here, but yours is standing
I promise
today.
I'll probably be shorter than George.
Brian?
And I have
Yeah.
to pull it up here from
Thank
what
you,
was
sir.
sent to me.
Okay.
So just a few things is just to, Chief wanted to reiterate that we are getting into the schools and the daycare more, and we're trying to be visible in those areas during times that the school's in session, things like that, besides the, you know, the officers that may be working those schools. We've applied for a grant for a computer for the new police car. We'll hear back on that probably within the next 2 to 3 weeks. Just like you were reading back on that survey that Chief wanted to, you know, say that we've had really good success, or what we feel has been good success, like the music in the park and the community engagements that the police is trying to do with the community itself. So that's what I've got. Any questions? Any comments?
Yeah, I noticed today during school time, when you're supposed to be driving 25, there's a lot of dump trucks that are going through town, going north, then turning to 400, that are really exceeding the speed limit in front of school,
I will.
I think.
What I will do is,
Yeah.
I've been sitting back there taking notes
Okay.
of things, and so I will put that in the notes and make
Yeah.
sure that that gets passed on to the other officers, so that way we make it,
Yeah.
be able to sit out here and run a little bit more traffic on the commercial vehicles, just to make sure
Yeah.
that we're keeping them in check. All right.
Thank you.
All right.
anything else, that we haven't covered yet?
You can start signing.
Dawn? Did you get through your, internal controls class okay?
Yeah. Once I found where I was supposed to be.
Alright, very good. Yeah, that's a riveting class.
Yeah, it was.
Definitely, but
You got the popcorn out?
now we,
Oh,
now we know that, you won't steal all our money and you'll report anybody else who you catch stealing. Excellent, very good. Alright. Anything else
Did I
from you, Lan?
change that to Dawn at the bottom
I'm
of the
gonna go
next
back
page?
to Christmas in Clayton.
Did I change
Okay.
that?
Just a little bit. We were asked if they could use the building, and we didn't really give them an answer, so I'm hoping that the answer is yes, that they can use the building. Should we set a date of, decorating? Or are you're not gonna you're not gonna do it, Jenny?
She usually makes her grandkids do it, don't you?
I do, I think my granddaughters do.
Your granddaughters come in and do all the decorating.
But now one of them's in college, so she won't be around.
Oh,
Or Mitch, is the organization gonna do it, or?
That part's
Well, I
kind of
can-
up in the air,
Kind of
but,
up in
you
the
know,
air?
I'm sure we.
Well, we have plenty
volunteers.
of
Yeah,
ornaments and stuff in the
Yeah.
basement,
Yeah.
a lot, so.
yeah, and we'll figure out
as long as we can get all that out and up before the 24th,
Yeah,
and I can help, I mean,
yeah.
I just-
Well, we can start bringing it up anytime.
okay.
Yeah.
Didn't we talk also about a tree out front?
Yeah, that's the main
Yeah.
thing, yeah. There's two big ones downstairs that can be brought up.
And then at some point, since John Todd hooked up a outlet up by the roof, we could probably get a string of lights out of our basement plethora and, put them up. And that way I think when Santa lights the Christmas tree, those lights could come on
Yeah.
also. We
Yeah.
could do it some kind of simultaneous.
That's for the budget. That's is your name on there?
Oh, I was looking up down, I was
Yeah,
looking down
so you
here.
sign it.
We
Check
could get a
I,
remote control, and they make those
And then
now.
you sign
You
it.
don't have to be up there.
State your name, state your name.
Yeah,
Did I change that one too, Dawn, or does it still say
and we
Steve?
can remotely turn those on while
I was-
we're.
Boy, I am on it.
I
aren't
haven't-
I?
I had my hand up, I was looking down here.
I'm sorry, what, I just.
Right. Well, we're,
Yeah, so that was it, so we'll just.
so as long as we,
kind of coordinate you guys with.
yeah, we can get the building decorated, before the 24th, and I can help with setting up trees.
Before
or-
November the 24th.
Before November 24th, and then, so we'll get, the decorations out and get those set up. If we're gonna do a tree outside, we just need to figure out if we've got, right, I don't know, stakes or
Yeah, we'll have to,
something to
stake it
keep
down
it
and-
still, cause the wind's gonna
Yeah,
knock it over if we don't, so, but, that'd be, go ahead, Brian.
As far as the tree though, kinda like what they do on Monument Circle, have we thought about maybe just converting the flagpole over to the tree?
yeah, we talked about that too.
And just basically do it like they do Monument Circle does when they string the lights down to make it look like the tree, so their tree light is on the 24th.
Right.
Yeah.
That you use the flagpole as that.
Yeah, and when I looked at the YouTube video instructions on how to do that, they have a special set of string of lights that actually, attach each one individually kind of thing. I don't know if we have that already, but it would all depend on what kind of,
Sure.
we have boxes and boxes of ornaments downstairs and lights. Just for our first year, it may be just setting up the 8-foot Christmas tree out there that we have and
Yeah,
decorate it. But that is a good idea, cause I looked at that, but it's a very specialized string of lights that has to hook up there.
We couldn't get a tree delivered like they do to the White House?
Let me call.
Okay.
they said no.
That, alright, so that's everything on Christmas, and so we'll make sure that we allow Santa in and anybody who wants to come in and
You claim so.
take pictures and that kind of stuff, so.
I ain't fat enough.
Well, you can put on that.
All right, anything, you have, John
No.
and Dave?
Mhm.
Jenny? Graham, anything else that we missed with that? All right, you said we missed something for you.
Jenny and I had a visitor today, and his name's Jimmy, and we'll call him the project manager
Yes, Jimmy.
of the liquor store. That they're,
Jimmy Jesse.
he said they're gonna be ready for a final inspection in about 2 weeks, and he promised us they'd have the coldest.
Coldest beer in town. The only beer in town.
Well, not the only.
Well,
Well,
it's 'cause it's the only liquor store.
The non-grocery store, grocery store has beer.
But he said his will be the coldest.
Oh,
You don't have any heat in the grocery store, so he's really gonna have to put his in the freezer.
Well, they're foaming the inside of the freezer right now, or they were today, so it'll be insulated well.
Well, who's gonna test it to see which one is colder?
Well, Jenny and I.
me and Pete are gonna do it. We've decided that we will,
Take one for the team.
yeah, take one for the team.
all right. Well, we've gone off on a tangent.
Yeah.
Okay.
Didn't you put your hand up back there? Did you just?
I can't stand up, but I just wondered what happened last month. All this discussion about the pond and the lot next to it, and that trash, and the trailers and
Yeah.
everything in there. What's being done about that?
Well, they haven't picked up their letter.
They haven't?
They have
No.
not.
What happens if they don't pick it up?
Well, we'll have to write them another one, isn't that right, Pete? If they don't, after 2 weeks or a month, what is it?
2 weeks.
2
So they get 14 days to pick up their certified letter. They don't do that, then he can write another one. And I'm not too sure if the post office has a mechanism for dealing with that themselves, or if we need to hand deliver it. But we'll go to the next step in getting the letter to
You know,
them.
it's such a shame because that is a nice park over there,
Yeah.
and then we've got trash over there.
Have they
People
not,
see it.
have they not cleaned any of it up? Cause I
No.
was told that they had.
No.
Oh, okay.
No.
I was told they had.
Yeah, Pete will continue working on the issue on that he did. We'll investigate.
Well, you can
Send them a letter.
fine them too, also, right?
That's
Can.
what he said.
After
It
you do
does
it,
the-
yeah,
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
there
And I'll
has-
check at the
there-
post office in the
There
morning
are
and make
steps that we
sure.
have to do before we go to the fine
Yeah.
right away, but,
Yeah.
right.
If the letter is the legal notice about an ordinance violation, then it can also be served by the police department as civil process.
Sure.
So it can be, your certified letter would be your backup to your personal service at the door.
All right, we will continue working on that issue and see if we can't get it resolved. All right, do I have a consensus to adjourn?
yeah.
All right.